Greetings everyone and welcome to Coffee Black, where the Voyager adventures continue on YouTube. I'm your host, Captain G, and this is the channel where you get your refill of everything Star Trek Voyager related, from trivia, news, reviews, and more. So before I talk about today's topic, I'd like to encourage new viewers to subscribe to the channel, also check us out on X, formerly known as Twitter, and visit our Facebook page for more Voyager content. This video will be my breakdown for Star Trek Prodigy Season 2, Episode 14, Cracked Mirror, Computer Access File, Episode 14, Alpha and Enhanced View Screen. The episode starts with the protostar at Proto-Warp heading toward Voyager. When they approach Voyager, everyone temporarily phases in and out of reality and Gwen's band fluctuates. Chakotay enters the protostar bridge, clean-shaven and in a new uniform. Dal teases him, saying looks like someone's ready to be sent to the Admiral's ready room. Gwen nudges Dal away and says Chakotay looks great. Chakotay asks if he looks like he's trying too hard, and Hollow Janeway implies that if he is, that's not a bad thing. Chakotay also wishes he'd made it back sooner because he'd have fewer gray hairs. Rock asks Hollow Janeway to pet sit Bribble, and she agrees, even though she's more of a dog person. Janeway creates a laser pointer with her finger to keep Bribble occupied. The crew beam aboard Voyager, and the Doctor greets them and is especially happy to see Chakotay. The Doctor says the Admiral will be happy to see him, and Chakotay says he'll be happy to see her too. The Doctor replies confused, "Her?" At that moment, Admiral Jellicoe arrives in the transporter room to greet them, and when Dal asks where Janeway is, he reveals that Janeway, the Counselor, and Commander Titus were all killed aboard the Infinity trying to rescue Chakotay from the wormhole. The crew are confused, and the Doctor wonders why they don't remember those events. The Doctor escorts them toward sickbay and wonders if they are experiencing shared psychosis. Majel reads the logs confirming Janeway's death and theorizes that they all have shared psychosis or they're all on the wrong Voyager. The Doctor also agrees with the assessment. The crew separates since they all can't fit in the turbo lift. Dal, Chakotay, Gwen, Jango, Majel, and Murph take the lift, and Zero and Rock wait for the next one. As the lift lowers, Gwen begins fluctuating again, and so does the lift's panel. They exit the lift and the hallway is a mess and is completely dark. They reach sickbay and are surprised to see Captain O'Connor scavenging items. O'Connor, of course, originally appeared in a TNG episode, as well as the first season of Star Trek Prodigy. Rock and Zero take a lift, but they stop at a floor that has a different reality, where the aliens from Season 1 episode All the World's a Show apparently inhabited Voyager. There are two funny Tuvix Easter eggs there, the first being the flower that created Tuvix being on display on the deck, the other one being that the officer sees Rock and Zero, opens a hail, and asks for someone to alert Captain Tuvix. Chakotay tries to contact Zero and Rock without luck, and Majel says it's probably because they've entered another alternate reality. O'Connor reveals that in this reality the protostar completed its mission and destroyed all of Starfleet. The crew theorize whether or not Zero and Rock are safe, and Chakotay says he's been through something like this before, a reference to the Voyager episode Shattered, where a similar situation happened where different timelines appeared in different parts of the ship. Murph squeals, pointing at the interphasic rift, which is splintering through the ship. Chakotay uses the locations they've been to so far and believes if they travel to the bridge, they can use the deflector to close the rift and send them back to their own universe. He also theorizes that this is only happening to them because they use the proto-drive and the rift must be connected to their quantum signatures. They enlist O'Connor's help and he transports them to their destination. Upon arrival, they realize they're not on the bridge, and Chakotay is shocked to be greeted by Janeway. Just not his Janeway, though, but the Janeway of the Mirror Universe, a universe created in an episode of the original series called Mirror Mirror. The Mirror Universe also appeared in episodes of Deep Space Nine, Enterprise, and Discovery. Also note that this version of Janeway has a Borg implant similar to that of Seven of Nine. Janeway's guards surround the crew, and a second Chakotay also appears, sporting a goatee. The crew is placed in the brig, and Chakotay explains the Mirror Universe to the cadets and says Starfleet has had its run-ins with them before. Mirror Janeway and Chakotay arrive and question Chakotay. They're especially interested in knowing how they transported to their universe since they have safeguards created to prevent it. Janeway threatens them with the Agonizer, a torture device that also appeared in the original series episode Mirror Mirror. Mirror Janeway tells Mirror Chakotay to enjoy his torturing and is excessively affectionate toward him. For years, JC shippers have been dying for something like this between Janeway and Chakotay, but I can hear them all saying, no, not like this. It's still such a great tease. Mirror Janeway leaves Mirror Chakotay behind to do her bidding, and he decides his first victim will be Murph. Murph pretends to be scared and then proceeds to beat up the Mirror Chakotay. Chakotay swaps uniforms and even uses grease from Jangum's robotic hand to create a fake goatee. Murph also gives himself a goatee, a fun little tease at mirror versions of characters sporting facial hair. Gwen tells him it's not exactly needed, but she appreciates his enthusiasm. Chakotay escorts the crew down the hall, passing patrol guards until they run into Mirror Janeway. Chakotay tries to bluff his way through, but Janeway sees through the disguise and the crew run from Janeway's phaser fire. They end up in Cetaceous Ops, where even the whales are evil, but they manage to evade the Terran guards and Mirror Janeway. They make their way to the bridge and recalibrate the deflector dish. Unexpectedly, Loom creatures begin to exit the rift and begin making their way to the Terran Voyager. Mirror Janeway shoots through the door, and the Terran troops surround the crew. Chakotay pleads with Janeway, and she asks why she should trust him, and he says because no matter what reality he's in, he could never hurt her. The Loom begins to break through, and Janeway activates the ship's phasers. One of the Loom breaks through, and time starts to slow down. Gwen, being the only person unaffected, dodges the creatures and presses the deflector button, fixing the rift and transporting all the crew back to their rightful universe in Voyager's transporter room. The Doctor expresses his joy at seeing Chakotay's return, and this time the Admiral who arrives to greet them is Janeway. Janeway asks what's on his face, and he laughs. They both approach each other and embrace in a long hug. At the end of the episode, Dal tells Gwen that no matter what reality throws at them, he's glad he's in the one that's with her. And there you have it. That is my breakdown and list of Easter eggs that appear in the episode Cracked Mirror. I absolutely loved this episode beyond words. There were some great Easter eggs, Voyager references. Visiting the Mirror universe was also a real treat since we never got to see an actual Mirror version of Voyager, and the reunion of Janeway and Chakotay was so very well done. This is my favorite episode of the season, which is why I am rating this episode 9 coffees out of 10. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please hit the like button to support the channel. It'll also help boost our channel's algorithms as well. I'll see you all in the next episode breakdown video. Everyone take care. Live long and prosper.